All right, how y'all doing? Bama Law here. Wanted to go back in time a little bit and see how the COVID crazies almost set free a serial killer. That's correct. This almost happened. So let's go through. I'm going back into the archives here. We'll go back a few years. Let's see if, well, get off this screen. We'll go to Fox News. Let's see if I can get a date listed on this. This is from April the 24th, 2020. So the pandemic endemic had started, just began. And then all you gotta do is look at here. Western States Green River Killer and other inmates denied coronavirus not relief, release in a 5-4 vote. 5, keep them in, 4 to let them out because of COVID. Never mind that Ridgway is, I know he's convicted of 50. I think he's confessed to another 20 women. So I guess they just value, COVID and him more in their beliefs than they do dead women. That's apparently how these people, these Corona people, this is absurd. I remember when this happened, I could not fathom it. And you know whose fault it is? Lawyers. It's lawyers. That's it, lawyers. All right. In a 5-4 vote Thursday, the state Supreme Court, Washington rejected. Yeah, I'm still sharing. Rejected a lawsuit calling for the release of thousands of inmates to help stem the spread of the coronavirus. Those narrowly missing a shot at freedom included Gary Ridgway, the so-called Green River Killer, who in 2003 was sentenced to life imprisonment after he confessed to killing as many as 49 women. He's been he's pled guilty to, I know for sure, one more. I think 2 more. I think he's at 51, but I think he's, when I say it's horrible, when you confess to, oh my God, another 20 murders and they haven't done anything. Well, how could they not do anything? What are they going to do? They don't, most of the women, that they don't even know where they are. They might have a name. He might have seen a photo and gone, yeah, that looks like her. Yeah, I might have dumped her here. It gets the record book cleared, but that's all it does. It doesn't give you a name. It doesn't give a family, a person. If those women, they're gone. They're just gone. That's what he thought of them. Animals have taken them and they're gone. They're gone. And they wanted to let this psycho out. And this is the type of people, lawyers are the one instigating them in there, and they're right in there because they caused this. But these fruitcake coronavirus people were more worried about a damn disease somehow killing Gary Ridgway than Gary Ridgway killing their own daughters. Think about that one. And there's our awesome, wonderful man. That was from his. I remember when he pled guilty in 03. I think I hit in 2001, and I think in 03 he pled. I think he was sentenced in 04. Or no, 03, and then in 04 BTK got caught. That's what it was. I believe that's right. A lawyer representing the inmates being considered for release. I don't know what kind of a dirtbag you'd have to be a lawyer for. I'm sorry. It's one thing to have them, not live in. Some people didn't say it. They deserve to live in squalor. Um, we kind of, we house them. We kind of have control over them. We have to do something for the inmates. Okay, you can't just put them in a hole, which we do, but we at least feed them and give them a toilet, and some toothpaste. You got to have some things to take care of your body. That's what they should be worried about. And instead, their focus was in 2020 on getting a serial killer released because COVID. Unbelievable. A lawyer representing the inmates being considered for release, about 2/3 of the state's prison, 2/3 of the prison population in Washington State. I think they should have just released them all and just put a little border around the whole state of Washington and Oregon, and they could have just burnt the entire Northwest and took it. It'd been great for them. Argued that those behind bars aren't able to keep themselves safe from the virus. He's like Ridgway said, those inmates who were elderly and in poor health are very close to their release date, which I think Ridgway has like a, uh, I don't know, 600 years. So pretty sure he's nowhere near release. I'm just, let's see, 40, 40, yeah, he's like 600 years, I think. We can decide to hold, we cannot, we can all hold out in our homes. We can decide who we allow. Is that this dumbass lawyer? We can all hold out in our homes. We can decide who we allow into our homes. Really? Tell that to all the murdered people that didn't know their murderer snuck in their home and killed them. Again, lawyers, morons. All right, Nicholas Straley. He ought to be disbarred. People in prison do not have that option. No, because they got themselves in prison. Because they broke into someone's home. Or worse, they broke into the home and killed the person that was in there. Attorney General, Assistant Attorney General John Sampson, arguing against the mass release, told the court that inmates had received face masks, separate sleep spaces, and the corrections department had conducted testing on 300 inmates. Mind you, it's a 5-4 decision. That's it. No, they stay in prison. Yes, they go home. All it would have took was one person to die or get sick, be in hospital from the coof, and you'd have had a tie. I mean, ultimately, the court order signed by Chief Justice Stevens said the petitioners bringing the lawsuit failed to prove the state's treatment of the inmates amounted to deliberate indifference to the COVID-19 risk within the state's detention centers. At least 24 correction department employees, 13 inmates, and tested positive at this point. I can't help but laugh. People died from it, but you know what? They weren't murdered. They weren't murdered. Well, except in New York by Governor Cuomo. Sorry. Those whole people were murdered. I'm sorry. I hate to break it to you, but that's what happened. You took people you knew were sick. It's like, oh, well, they've got consumption. We're just going to put them all in nursing homes. Okay, and then no one gets treated for tuberculosis, and then they die. Well, if you've known that you've done, if you knowingly put someone into an area to spread tuberculosis, and it's not a sanatorium, and you're not treating the people, I don't see what the difference is. I just don't. Even from a legal point of view, I don't see the difference. You still have the mens rea. Only thing difference you have is you have the government, the power of the government right behind you, and all the banality of evil cops that are coming behind you going, Geheimnisführer. You know, they'll do whatever they're told. Whatever they're told. They'll kill whomever. They'll put whoever in jail. Just tell them what you need to tell them. Ultimately, it's on April 10th, the state Supreme Court had asked the state to draft a plan for protecting inmates. Ridgway, now 70, and this is 4 years, he's 74 now. He's a few years younger than my mom. Ridgway confessed to strangling prostitutes, runaways, and other overlooked members. How about mothers and daughters? Even the news media treats them as garbage. Yeah, they might have been prostitutes. Yeah, that was his thing. But it was someone's mother. Someone's little girl. And other overlooked members of society in his pickup truck while having sex with them. He would then dump their bodies around the Seattle area. The first 5 or 6 or so was in a place called the Green River. According to the Alley, prosecutor said Ridgway told him he killed 60, but they were able to gather only enough evidence for 49. I know since then he is. I know he's up to 50, if not 51. I'm positive. I remember reading that just not long ago. But let's go over to let's go look at their order. All right. Supreme Court of Washington. Let me see. Share this tab. Okay, here we go. The court, Justice, who's pro tem, Justice Warswick, heard oral arguments, the mandamus petition, and petitioner's motion to amend, petition for blah, blah, blah. I love how we lawyers write just complete garbly gook. Just, just frustrates me. Just wish they'd write better. They can't write good. After full consideration, the court, let's go back to it. Petitioner's motion to amend the petition for a writ of amendment. How about just petitioner's motion to amend? Anyway. After full consideration, the court determined by majority to enter the following order with opinions to follow. I wonder if this is the actual full one or the second one. The writ of mandamus is denied. Okay. Have not shown that the respondents, the prison, is currently failing to perform a mandatory non-discretionary duty in addressing the COVID-19 bullcrap. Hell, am I? Oh, petitioner's motion to amend petition for petition. Now I can't speak. Petitioner's motion to amend petition. You see why this is bad writing. For a writ of mandamus is also denied. On the record presented, the petitioners have not shown the respondents' actions constitute deliberate indifference to the covenant, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so we've got that. And then what is this one? We have a dissenter. Justice Gonzalez. I bet you, people like him, I think they should do is they should release Gary on a little ankle monitor to his house. He should have to go to Justice Gonzalez's house to live. That's what I think. That's it. Because these assholes have cops and guards and machine guns and whatever else they need. They don't have to worry about nothing. It's you and I that do. Let's see if he's the butthole. Maybe obviously he's got to be because he's dissenting. April 10th, 2020, we unanimously granted accelerated review of petitioner's motion for immediate relief in part. We directed the governor and Secretary Sinclair to immediately exercise authority to take all necessary steps to protect the health and safety of all prisoners. Blah, 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 blah. We exercise that authority by court order to do so because this is an extraordinary situation with grave consequences for not just those incarcerated without sufficient safeguards, but also for the whole community. So we're going to let them out, and that way they can come back to the community, spread even more disease, and kill more people. Brilliant. Outstanding. This guy's logic is up there. Bet he went to a Harvard or some stupid overpriced law school. Went like Stanford. These pseudo-intellectual, Mr. Gonzalez. You're a moron. You're an absolute moron. Respondents Governor Inslee and Secretary Sinclair then filed their plan. It showed both substantial progress and continuing problems in DOC facilities. We also received an update and today heard oral arguments regarding the ongoing challenges and responses. The majority denies relief in the form of a writ and denies petitioner's motion to amend that to amend and add a claim of habeas corpus. That's how they should have titled it. That makes more sense. And or personal restraint petition. We dissent because so obviously more than one. I guess it's the four. We dissent because while a writ of mandamus is a limited mechanism for providing relief, it may allow the court to order the executive branch to comply with its duty to protect incarcerated individuals. Also, we would have accepted the state's offer to provide an updated report in 2 weeks and the state's continuing progress to take all necessary steps, basically to implement every possible theory and outcome and belief possible that covered a disease that we still didn't know at the time wasn't as deadly. So instead, we know people are deadly in prison. We know Gary Ridgway is deadly. Why the hell would you release him? Finally, we would grant the motion to amend to include personal restraint petition claims by the 5 named prisoners. Blah, 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 blah. Let's see. Here's your 4 awesome individuals. I can't read any of these. It does not mean that the motion to amend is futile. It means that the motion to amend satisfies our procedural jurisdictional prerequisite. They more care. These people care more about these intricacies with the law and how they're so brilliant in their legal minds than just application and day in and out. Because some poor schlub has got to do the application. These people are up here in their little crystal homes and palaces dictating to us. Man, half the time Supreme Court issues stuff. Most lawyers be like, I don't know. I don't know what it means. It's not in my area of law, thank God, because I don't know what the hell it says. Oh, well, you're just not as smart. No, maybe they just overdo it. That's just my thought. Maybe they just overdo it a lot. Let me kill this one. Let's see. There's another one here. Shoot. Let me go into StreamYard again. I closed it. I didn't just change the share. Hang on. Right, here we go. This one's a bit longer. I think this is the original order. This is the original order Fort Ridgway was a part of. Mind you, Gary Ridgway. Had Bundy not got executed by Florida and had gone to prison in Washington for those murders, he would have been in it too. That's who they want to release. Oh my God, these people are stupid. Probably got some stupid ass, silly law school girl doing this crap, briefing it. This is stupid. Let's see, it's ordered. Petition's motion to accelerate review is granted. Also granted, the court directs the governor, secretary, yeah, we've already read that. So they split the order apart. This is Gordon MacLeod, or I guess Justice Gordon MacLeod. He would go further. The pandemic currently wreaking havoc around the globe and all aspects of life as we know it presents unique challenges for our prisons and jails. We recently took considerable action, including suspended civil and criminal trials in our state because our court facilities are ill-equipped to effectively comply with social distancing and other public health requirements. It's difficult to believe that our prisons and jails are better equipped to ensure public health. They're more worried about that than people murdering people. Where the hell are you going to put all these people, you morons? You're not doing it in my house. 5 residents at state correctional facilities are understandably concerned and believe the state's not doing enough to protect them. And the state does have a job to protect them to a degree, yes. They seek relief under our Constitution and state law. What about their victims? Well, they're dead. They don't matter. For instance, they claim that the failure of the state leaders to mitigate substance. This is lawyer bullshit speak. State lawmakers failure to mitigate the substantial risk of serious harm violates Article 1, Section 14 of the Washington Constitution, which protects against cruel and unusual punishment. Let me tell you what cruel and unusual punishment was. To be put on a spit, okay, hanging by a rope with no pants on that spike. And that spike, if you drop too low, goes right through you. Or maybe even the gibbet, where you put you in a cage and they just leave you out on the edge of town to rot. Those are cruel and unusual punishments. Being put in prison when, God forbid, tuberculosis comes around or hepatitis is not a reason to let people out and say, oh, it's cruel and unusual. I can't believe these happen. The only reason I got on this, I was watching a show the other night on Ridgeway, and this got brought up, and I thought, nah, it can't be. Yep, it can. Part of the request for relief is immediate release of a subset of prisoners at a higher risk. Remember, Ridgeway, I think he was 70 at the time, if I'm not mistaken, 70. So he's 74 now. State argues that in doing all it can, given the unique circumstances, limited resources, and that it's compliance with the law. This presents a disputed question of fact. Adjudication of those facts require more than time than we have today, but the emergency motion correctly recognizes the circumstances presented here as extraordinary, and I believe this court should act accordingly. I believe that several different sources of law give us the authority and the duty to release the 5 petitioners who filed this lawsuit. Now we don't know who's the 5, but we know that a large group of them. One of them was Ridgway. It just showed it to you. Okay, we know that. All right. Petitioners style their filing as a petition for writ of mandamus. We may interpret the petition for writ of mandamus as seeking the more appropriate writ for the additional relief habeas corpus, bring the body forth, which probably is true, probably a better way to do it, rather than a writ of mandamus, which is to make a person or officer of the government to do something that they're legally required to do that they're not doing. A lot of times it'll be on a judge. Okay. Personal restraint petition. I mean, these people are insane. They're going in how they have this specific. They're basically giving them another bite at the apple. Say, well, if you do it under this personal, what do they call it? Personal restraint petition. We can review that, no problem. This just blows my mind. They are clearly under a restraint, and if the allegations are true, then that restraint is unlawful. Prison officials' deliberate indifference. What the hell is a prison official going to do? What do you do? They still have to run a prison. None of the rules restrictions apply to the petitioner's claims. Blah, blah. Look at all this horse hockey. I'm not even going to waste your time. Just know that these are the type of people that part of Oregon, Eastern Oregon, wants to break away from. These morons, and even though this is Washington, they want to break away from these people and join the greater state of Idaho. I hereby implore you to do so. Please do so. You need to join a new state. Burn the rest of it because it's not worth a damn. Because if my kid had been killed by one of these sons of bitches, then you're going to try to get him out? No. Nope. And how can I sit here as a lawyer and still make a defense and be a prosecutor at the same time and have this mentality? Because I'm a father and then I'm a lawyer. And the lawyer part, that's just a job. But I'm not going to do so, and I have to do it to the best of my ability to represent someone's case to my utmost ability. But I don't have to represent bullshit. That's it. I don't have to. If they come to me with this crap wanting, Ridgway says I want to get released. This is a violation of my civil rights. You know what I'm say to him? Click. I'm gonna hang up. Not taking the case. I don't have to. Even if I was in public defender's office time and had to deal with this bullshit because of the Commonwealth I worked for. We did, I don't even know how many hundreds. I mean, stacks trying to get people out. Stacks. And look, a lot of people have stuff. They can't afford to get out. They can't pay a bond or something minor. Yeah, man, they should probably cut them loose, man. We ain't got room for them. We ain't got a place to keep them. That's different. That's not somebody who, took a pipe and beat the hell out of somebody in their head until it popped their head open or broke all the facial bones where they have to have reconstruction. And there are real horrible people in this world. But at the same time, as a lawyer, you should most people can't do it. You should be able to go into a courtroom, give me both sets of books, like for the defendant estate. And I'm making this very, very, very easy. It would not be this simple, and you could not do it. But you should be able to look at either one of them and pick one up and go argue the case from an academic point of view. And if the state has a BS reason, I can tell them to go kick rocks too. I don't care. The 13th Amendment prevents me from having to work involuntarily in servitude. And that's how you do it. You say, no, kick rocks. And unfortunately, you have scumbag lawyers taking cases like this. This just disgusts me. I mean, I don't even want to be, I hate to even be known as a lawyer with these people. It's so gross. It's gross. Oh, it's gross. Damn. Let's go back to this article. As the justices heard the argument, state Republicans, law enforcement officials, and crime victims spoke out against the proposals. No kidding. Oh my God, yeah. Ridgway was amongst those that it would have covered. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable that this was real. There he is. Let's see. Here we go. Judge Chapman said, yeah. Yep, there he is. Yeah, there he is. Nice guy. That's from 2001, I think it is. But he's a lot older now. I saw a photo recently. Still just as scary. That's this son of a bitch. Or as Jackie Gleason would say, this son bitch caused the death of a lot of people, a lot of women, and destroyed a lot of families and kids, their lives, took their lives from them. Not just the victims, but took others. It's just horrible. It's just horrible. This is what they tried to do. Remember that face next time you hear crap like this. They want to help these prisoners. This is it right here. Remember his face. Don't ever forget his face. All right, I'm off my soapbox. Y'all have a good night. All right, well, let's see. What do you mean it's lost? Maybe it's lost it. I can't tell. Oh, great. Now I can't tell if y'all have seen what I have done or not. Damn it. This is what I hate about software. It says that it lost the screen sharing, but I'm going with it did. I'm hoping it works. I'm going to keep it the way it is. Good to go. Keep up the fight. Like, subscribe, share, leave mean comments. I don't care. It's fine. There's a couple more YouTube channels that I've found recently extremely good about with body language and breaking down their psychology, and they're fantastic. And I'm gonna give them a shout out and stuff on my next video. I don't have it handy, unfortunately. I think it's like BTS or something like that. I think. But anyway, I'll do that then. That's enough for now. I'll shut up. Y'all have a good night. Bye.